Hi, Eric Linask, reporting from Cloud Expo in New York. Nico, thanks for joining me this morning. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me here, and thank you for visiting our booth.
So, storage, it's a challenge for a lot of companies, especially in the SMB space. But what are the big primary challenges for that market?
Well, the real challenge is, we've seen a lot of studies this year that show that about 60 to 70% of IT dollars are spent by companies on maintenance rather than building their business, building new services, or even harnessing big data to provide better services to their clients. So that only leaves about 30% of IT dollars for that function, essentially growing the business. And what takes up a lot of this maintenance, a lot of the cycles of maintenance is storage maintenance. There's just a lot that has to be done in order to maintain storage, and what we do is we provide cloud storage gateways which essentially let companies take a large amount or a portion of their storage out to the cloud where they no longer have to worry about this maintenance. We provide security, we make it fast, we make it simple to use, but at the same time, we enable them to deploy their IT resources more efficiently to meet their business needs.
Well, certainly this is a tailor-made use case for the cloud, as you say. You mentioned you provide security. How much of a question, how much of an issue with the SMB users, with your customers, is security?
Well, security is always first and foremost on their mind when adopting cloud. And what we do is we provide encryption both at rest and in flight, and we allow the users to manage the keys. It's sort of a separation of church and state is what I call it, is the user has to hold the keys. Now if the user throws away the keys, nobody on the cloud provider side can access the data. And that's the type of security users should be looking for. They should be in complete control of their data. And that's what we provide with our Cloud Array products.
How big is mobility? How much is mobility driving some of these data challenges and the opportunities in cloud data?
Well, a lot of organizations have multiple locations across the world, and being able to manage their data in multiple locations, which essentially becomes silos of data, is a challenge. Right? A lot of organizations may want to create or move their capacity around between sites. It's very difficult, but when you move to a cloud model where capacity is centralized and you have gateways which have a very small local footprint and up to 50 petabytes in the cloud, if you have these at each site, now you can manage a huge storage pool, but allocate it dynamically on the fly, giving you mobility. The other piece of mobility is everybody needs access to storage. So you've got mobile devices, you've got people accessing storage all over the place, and that means capacity needs keep growing. One of the things that we brought here at the Cloud Expo that we're giving away is the storage hog, right? Every single organization has a storage hog, and oftentimes we blame these people for taking up all the storage or the reason why our data centers keep growing. But in reality, you don't have to blame the storage hog. People always save their data, there's compliance requirements, there's requirements around retention, and for that reason, data keeps on growing. And what we say is with Cloud Array, when you can start moving some of your storage to the cloud, you don't have to worry about the maintenance, you no longer have to worry about the storage hog, which is why we put the logo on there to embrace the storage hog.
How happy does that make the IT guys?
I think it makes the IT guys very happy. Effectively, they're spending less of their time doing maintenance. All of these operations, storage arrays are complex devices. They require migration, so whenever you move from one to the other, even if you upgrade the software on a storage array, it's a whole process. There's risk involved. If you push all of that to the cloud, that means you no longer have to worry about this. Your storage can keep growing, you only pay for what you use, and the maintenance burden really goes away.
Excellent, great. I think we've got Phil on the other side here who's going to show us a little bit about how it actually works.
We do. So normally we would come up into a Lightning installer. Takes about 5 minutes to get to this point where we've added our license and our initial cloud provider. In the interest of time, I've already gone ahead and done that. This is the first screen that you're going to see. So we just go right to Manage Cloud Array, enter our administrative information. And the way Cloud Array works is it is a caching device that can replicate to multiple cloud providers simultaneously. And what I'm showing you here right now on this screen, you can see one of the features of Cloud Array is that its automatic upgrade path from our portal, you can see we're one revision down on our software. This is what any administrator would see, is that there is upgrade available. You never have to search for or look for any updates to Cloud Array. We want to apply it now. So we'll go in, and what we have in this setup is we have a single Windows client connected over 10 gigabit Ethernet. We can operate at wire speed, and we have a single default volume that has been mapped to this client already. We take a look at that volume. We can see it's only 50 gigabytes. It's using Google as our default provider, and there's nothing dirty in cache currently. So everything is fully synced in the cloud already. Now I've gone ahead and I've created another cache, a 1 terabyte cache that's coming out of our physical disk pool, which is up to 18 terabytes in size, and we've used a terabyte of that. Now from that cache, we simply create a policy. And this policy, we'll simply call it TMC demo. There's our demo cache, and we're going to select a provider. As we know, we can have multiple providers with Cloud Array, up to 16 simultaneously. We already have Google configured, so let's select Amazon. Our Amazon provider has been configured and tied to that cache. So now, very simply, we can go and we can create a new volume. Let's create something ridiculous. 8 terabytes in size. That'll be backed by 1 terabyte of physical disk. So there's 8 terabytes. We select our new policy, and we're going to map it to our current client. Go to our Windows system. We are iSCSI based. And let's just rescan and see how quickly we can find an 8 terabyte iSCSI volume. It's that simple. Cloud Array works just like an iSCSI storage array, with the added benefit that we do replicate to the cloud in the background. Works just like any iSCSI storage array. We can add, create, do whatever we want. It looks just like physical storage, backed by almost an unlimited pool of storage in the background.
Phil, thanks. You mentioned Google, you mentioned Amazon. Is there typically, have you seen a preferred cloud provider among your customer base?
Well, initially when we started, Amazon S3 was on the surface immediately. So S3 was more prevalent early. We are getting a lot of interest in Nirvanix and a lot of the enterprise class providers. Google's come onto the scene. We're getting a lot of interest in Google as well. But one of the nice things about Cloud Array is that we are provider agnostic. You can choose any of the available providers today, and Cloud Array will seamlessly integrate that for you.
Phil, thank you. I'm Eric Lanask here from Cloud Expo, and that's how you can get rid of your own storage hogs.